Hi, Collective. It's Shana. I'm back again. I want to do a second dream entry, right? I tried to record this yesterday, but it kept recording without volume, so I'm going to try this again. This particular dream occurred in 2022. Okay, so this is even further back than the other one. This one was like, I think in April or May. Somewhere around that time. I didn't write it down, right? But this dream took place in the airport. It was underground, like in like the baggage department where they're sorting and sending the bags on conveyor belts and stuff like that. I don't know where this was, what state. It was in America, right? But what state, I'm not sure. But in this dream, I recall seeing an old friend of mine that I grew up with, as well as her husband, right? And ironically, they do work for an airport. At least they did. I'm not going to say the name of the airport, right? But there they were talking to me. And I was walking around, just looking around and everything. And they were following me around as I was looking at stuff. And they were trying to proposition me. They were very discreet about it and nonchalant, right? But I felt like this was a sexual proposition, right? So I continued to listen, and as I walked around, and at a certain point, I stopped them, and I rejected it. I rejected that offer. And as I was continuing to maneuver myself, walking around, looking for an exit, right? I see these young people. A lot of young people everywhere, right? They look like they were like late teens, early 20s. But they all had white on. Like white garments or white garbs, right? They weren't expensive garbs, but they were white. And I didn't see any smudges or anything on them, right? I took that white color to mean their innocence, a symbol of the innocence, right? And as I started to look into their faces and their eyes, I could see that something was wrong. They weren't there really. They were being drugged, okay? They had been drugged, all of them. And it was a lot of them, right? At least, maybe at least 200, maybe 100 and something, 200 children, right? In two single file lines, all dressed in white, all drugged, okay? It was like they were bound, like by chains or something, but I couldn't see it. I just felt the heaviness of the oppression, right? I felt like this drug that they were under and that was forced on them was a clear drug. I don't know if it was like an injectable drug, like maybe a heroin or something of that nature, right? Or if this was like maybe something ingestible, right? But the more I think about it, it almost reminds me of this whole baby oil situation, right? So it could have been something like that type of way of drugging them, right? Okay, so I continued. I just looked at the children, right? I didn't make any kind of communication. I just observed. And I continued towards the exit. And I saw someone that I knew. And I believe I was sent there to get this person out of this situation. I do feel like I was there to help this person get out of whatever the situation is they were involved in. This terrible situation. And he refused to go. He refused, okay? He refused. And so I continued. I left, right? I continued to leave. And something made me turn around and look. I turned around and looked. And there was his wife standing there, looking all crazy and laughing with this crazy, demented laugh, looking at me laughing, right? As if to say, I got this one, I got this, yeah. So I just looked and I left, right? I woke up and when I saw this person, this guy, I told him about the dream I had, right? And once I got to the part about the children and the drugs, he got real defensive, like as if to try to shut me up and say like I was crazy, right? So I paused for a second and I continued, right? So I expressed the entire dream, but I could see that it made him very uncomfortable. Yeah, and that was pretty much it, right? But I just want to say that, you know, we owe a debt to our children, right? Ain't none of us perfect, right? But this type shit going on, this has to stop. This is that like type 1 civilization type shit, or type 1 or beneath, okay? So, yeah. You know, this shit has to stop. And it will, okay? All right, we'll talk about this at some other point, collective. I just wanted to share that aspect. And I do plan to return soon with my first read, okay? Okay, collective. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. And if you like the video, like the video.